Yeah, we be about to in a minute, Nova. It ain't gonna be nothing but a second too. Uh, quick build, quick build, quick build. Not even gonna take long. Since it's misnomer Black History Month, I'ma always give some history. I use this platform to teach. And I ask anyone, research what I'm saying and see what the truth make you free. Won't even take long. Meditated, study with my Empress. Got some errands to run. I'm meeting a couple people at Barnes and Nobles just to handle some business. But I've taught this a plethora of times. And as a teacher, you must teach over and over. That's why I tell people I'm not here to debate. I'm not here to cause confusion because the truth will make you free. I'm definitely not here to debate no one because what I'm talking about is non-debatable. That's why I tell people, you know who's insane and mentally crazy when they'll follow someone or jump on someone's YouTube page and don't agree or even research what a person was saying. That's what I tell us. We done got so mentally crazy and miseducated and mental slavery where we don't fact check things. And all you got to do is listen to a person and they'll tell you exactly where they're limited. I always tell people the pendulum swings the both ways. I deal with nobility. I deal with nobility. I know who I am. There's no prejudice in me because a person that look like me can be just as ignorant as anyone else that we talk about. And that's the psyche or the psychosis, whatever is going on right now. Because what you see is Moors on platforms making both each other look crazy. And I'm like, okay, well, where's the science in what we're speaking? I tell us these are grown people. And that's why I ask people, and like, I didn't know this was going on where grown Moors on these so-called platforms that call themselves sheiks, all these different areas, it be melanated. I don't care what you connotate yourself or denotate yourself, arguing with each other. It baffles me. That's what I see. Because we know a European troll, a Trelodite troll, or a caveman. I don't have to argue with no one because that's who they say they are. I don't have to apologize for nothing I say because what I say is scholarship. I use their books. I use the Jewish Encyclopedia. All these references, I use their reference. I use their ammo and put it in my gun. I shoot from the lip, not the hip. So when anybody comes with some things that you think is right, I'm going to come with the truth in their book and they're going to sit on their hands. That's why nobody can sit me down. Look at all these celebrities on TV and things. They get suspended for talking about this or we're talking about Jew this. I said, you can't even say nothing about that, but you could talk about kill a nigga and all these misnomer black folk die. Man, I ain't shutting down. That's why I said I teach scholarship. No one can shut something down. That's the truth. And when you and what I saw on these so-called Moorish platforms is a whole bunch of grown men arguing with each other, talking crazy. Teach history. Teach your children. So we're gonna teach a part of history real fast. It's not even gonna take long. This is what they give your kids in school. We're gonna teach. This is 1776, the British story of the American Revolution. The British story of the American Revolution. See, this should go viral. We should like this and share this. I'm not on here talking crazy or telling nobody don't do this, or I'm telling you everything is ours, and I prove it through scholarship, like I done in academia. This is the book that they give your children in school to read. 1776, the British story of the American Revolution. So a so-called Negro, black, or colored misnomer would research this and and say, okay, well, give me a research, a peer-reviewed scholarly research paper on the road to Bunker Hill. This the road to Bunker Hill. This is what they teach. I don't want to read it all. You should read it. But look at this picture. This is the Battle of Bunker Hill. You don't see no melanin. You don't see any Moors in this picture. They whitewashed certain figures out. Just like I have a whole bunch of ancient books by Ivan, what's his name? It's called Russian Icona. Ivan Vladimir, if I'm not mistaken. And it shows you how the European, no disrespect, the heathen tried to whitewash themselves in the history books. You can't be mad at me. It's just facts. So this is what they teach your kids, the road to Bunker Hill. I'm going to show you. This is in school. This stuff should be going viral. They whitewash you out the history books. I got so much. It's like I taught in Sunday school, if you look. All those figures, the European writers, the 1st century writers, the 18th century writers, the 19th century writers, had no problem speaking how I'm speaking. I shared this. So, you see, they whitewash certain figures out the history books. That's why I said, the European agree with me. I'm their teacher. And then as soon as somebody don't look like us say something, ooh, you see what they were saying? No, your brother Ben telling you this. Watch this. Setting the record straight. American history in black and white. Now, I just showed you that picture of Battle of Bunker Hill. I just showed you that. You see no melanated people. That's what they teach your kids. All those pictures, all that stuff. I keep telling people, they whitewash you out of the history books. But when you go in the true libraries, you can find it. I just showed you. Watch this. Hold on. Let me plug my phone up real fast. See, this stuff should go viral. This is what we should be sharing our kids. It's Misnomer Black History Month. I'm showing you that they whitewashed you out of history. This is what they give your kids. Any African misnomer, African American, they talk about some 1776, they get this. No one can deny what I'm saying. They whitewash figures out the history books. I'm about to teach you. Everything is signs and symbols. Before you had written language, you had signs and symbols. Look at what I'm showing you. I'm here to resurrect history. I'm here to illuminate, to clear up. I'm not here to destroy. I'm here to fulfill. Everybody say they love our prophet Noble Drew Ali. That's fine. You know? That's fine. But I'm here to educate. I'm not here to cause confusion. I'm an educator. I keep telling more. I'm not the only one, but I'm a more in high schools, colleges. I don't toot my horn when Negroes say, oh, the universities come from a European. And then you like Sheikh Anta Diop and Ivan Van Sertima. And I hope you studied from Babylon to Timbuktu. The first universities was created by Moors. And we give the credit to the European. The European wasn't nothing but a transcriber. Ask him. He'll tell you. Eliseus Levi, nothing but a transcriber. He got all that Aquarian gospels from the Moorish Akashic records. Adam Blavatsky, she'll tell you in her biology, is all Moorish science. They give credit to our prophet. Everyone know I'm telling the truth. I'm not here to destroy. I'm here to fulfill. I'm proving a point in history. Moors need to get in history and law. We talk about we law. We talk about we history. We'll prove it. I'm proving it. I'm right here. I ain't finna be arguing, debate with no Negro about this, that, and the other. I'm just setting the atmosphere, because that's crazy. And the brother that sent me that, when talk about some sheik, talk about he don't read the Quran, why he got to read that stuff, and his prophet wrote a book. Our prophet gathered and compiled That's number one. Our prophet ain't write nothing. Our prophet gathered and compiled. So if you gathered and compiled, that means you got this from other readings. That means you got it from the Quarian Gospels, per se. You got it from the Unto Thee I Grant. You got it from all these other holy books. So how can we say we don't study nothing else? That's the same a statement of saying a Christian, they don't read nothing but the Bible. You limit it. And our prophet gathered and compiled the Moore's Quran from holy books. Ask me, am I lying? Somebody correct me if I'm lying. So if you haven't read the Quran, if you haven't read the holy books, if you haven't read the Zohar, the Yasher, the Kabbalah, to understand all this Gnostics and all this science, if you ain't studied all the Gnostic scriptures and all the different teachings to understand the science, so you don't miss the essence of all the rest, if you don't understand the triple role of the adapt chamber, understanding all those religious rites, how can you call yourself a sheik? You are limited. You limited. So just like if we was in martial arts and you got a sensei and he don't know nothing, he don't know weapons, he don't know nothing, he just know how to do some damn forms in a competition. Man, come on. A person that tell you. And then a person to say a person is a fake Mason. He called the brother that's a sheik, I guess, called him a fake Mason. I said, what's a fake Mason? You mean a Mason is a fake Moor, especially if you Negro? Because this science belongs to us, the European, to tell you this. I teach this. See, we done lost our science and think this science is some Europeans. And I show you the Wiggum Party. All those Europeans were initiated by Moors. I show y'all all the documents. All y'all got to do is go on my Instagram page. I show this all day. I taught this in college. So I showed y'all the picture of what these Negroes get, no disrespect, at the pseudo academia. I know this because I graduated with honors, with my master's. I'm not tooting my horn. I was in the belly of the beast, talking just like this. All this stuff is in their libraries. Now watch this. I love my prophet too, but I can correct teachings. I mean, come on. If we're nationality and spirituality, that consists of two things that were taken. What? Our nationality and our spirituality, that has to do something with law. What type of law? Constitutional law. Because we're not here to destroy or build nothing or that's not already here. We are here to do what? To defend the Constitution. That's why I tell everybody, every public official that did what? They took an oath to do what? Defend the Constitution. You can get their oath. Every public official have signed the oath to defend the Constitution. Ask me, am I lying? Any scholar, any professor, anybody that got some sense that love you, be like, he's telling you the 100% truth. So if they dare to defend the Constitution, I am too, because everything I speak of is the Constitution. Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, SF 181 form, Resolution 75. Come on, man. Don't play with me. Watch this. You see this picture? This the true battle of Bunker Hill, how they whitewash certain Moors out of the history books. I'm gonna use their language in here, but they Moors. Watch. And a lot of this is in Exhuming of the Nation, but I correct the teachings. I'm like, I'm in the flesh. I can correct the teachings. I don't have a narrative. I'm not trying to control nobody's thought process. What I do is I give you this, and then we sit down, we make the right decision. I'm not trying to control your thinking. I'm trying to make you think and use your other side of the brain to be and adapt, because the truth will make you free. We ain't here to lie to our people and try to convince them. That ain't what I'm here for. I'm here to teach the truth, and the truth will make you free, and it's plain. African American history, so much of it is truly unknown today. For example, few known of James Armistead. Research what I'm saying. A black patriot and spy who helped make possible the 1781 Yorktown victory during the American Revolution that established America as an independent nation. Or Peter Salmon, a black patriot who was a hero of the 1775 Battle of Bunker Hill. What? Here it goes, 1776. I just showed you. Now, come on. Everybody, that's why I said I'm courting you. Here go the picture that you will see in all the history books. You don't see none of the Moors I just said. They whitewash them out of the history books. I can show you, I have a plethora of history books in my library. Thousands. And I made a lot of those history books available PDF at mypdfbooks.com, books with a Z, so Moors can research, for Moors can study, and then compare the books on that I made available PDF on Amazon. Thousands. So here it is in history. They don't whitewash these figures that I'm talking about. Let me get back to the other picture. Let me get back to the reading, and then I'm gonna show you the pictures in the science. We correct in history. I don't care what's in the book. You must be able to fact check it and go with the history and go with the ancient and trump the history. If not, you're just going with what's modern. And you limit it. We must say that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. It ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh, we ain't doing all this. A person say they a master, another person a master, and then these two masters sit down at the table. It's like night and day when you talk scholarship, when you talk history, when you talk law, when you look at that person's life and they a business and what all they doing. This ain't just internet with me. Few knew of James Armistead, a black patriot and spy who helped make possible the 1781 Yorktown victory during the American Revolution that established America as an independent nation, or Peter Salmon, a black patriot who was a hero of the 1775 Battle of Bunker Hill. He also fought as one of the legendary Minutemen and was a soldier at the battles of Saratoga and Stony Point. In fact, a monument was erected to his memory in Massachusetts to commemorate his life and deeds, and his famous picture of 1776 crossing of Delaware on Christmas night. Two men depicted at the front of the boat included Prince Whipple and Oliver Cromwell. Huh? But I just said, you just said it was Prince Whipple and Oliver Cromwell. You don't see no Prince Whipple and Oliver Cromwell in here, do you? Hell no. But where they, oh, they just pop up here, huh? I'm telling you what I know. No disrespect. My professors to tell you the European is nothing but a lie, and I have European professors. Like all a European did is whitewash the history books. Because when you a scholar at that level, we teaching the truth. What's wrong with that? And I ain't saying you better than everybody, but it is a prototype. I give a person, if you say you grew up in a cave, you a caveman, you a Neanderthal, I'm gonna give you that. Because I don't have no history of that. I don't have no history of being no slave, and my family being no slave. So why am I argue somebody talk about their family a slave? I just told you, my family ain't no slave. I'm a Moorish American. My family, I don't have a history of my family being slaves. And his famous picture of the 1776 crossing of the Delaware on Christmas night, two men depicted at the front of the boat included Prince Whipple and Oliver Cromwell, two black patriots who served with George Washington and other American generals during the Revolution. Few Americans are aware that many of these soldiers who fought during the American Revolution were black. And unlike the later segregated regiment in the Civil War, many of these units in the American Revolution were fully integrated, with black patriots fighting and dying side by side with their white fellow comrades and soldiers. While this part of our history is unknown today, Americans knew this information in previous generations because of black historians. And why Moors knowing about it today, just like then, because of Moorish historians like myself that's willing to teach. That's why all of my European professors said, when I teach, look, man, I'm gonna show y'all, I'm gonna try to find some of my old archives when I used to lecture on GCU campus and see how packed it is. And I used to lecture on GCU campus once a month. And I never talk about donation and offerings because it don't matter. Man, here it is, these college students, once a month, it'd be hundreds of students and they'll donate $100. And I lecture on the college campus once a month. The cathedral seat, it fits, man, I don't even know the amount. I need to look at it, but it'd be packed. And then I created books, PDF, for college students don't have to eat up their financial aid. So I'll be on campus all day offering books that might cost them $200 that they need for class. I offer it as a PDF for maybe $30, $40. They be amazed. Parents be writing me so many letters like, I want to thank you for doing that. Like, that's amazing what you do. I get more sales off my PDF books from college students and people I meet when I'm just walking around, when I'm in regular life, when they see me doing things in the real world. And they like, wow, that's amazing. I'm just being honest. But they knew about all this from scholars back then, such as William Neal. Neal was an award-winning young scholar in Boston during the 1830s. The reason why people don't know, because they're not into that. The reason why a lot of Moors don't know me, because they're not into scholarship. I don't have no fake degrees. I ain't no Freemason. If I was a Freemason, it's easy for you to look my charter up, just like I look every other Moor charter up when they come to me. And I say, man, be honest, I know you in Prince Hall Mason, because I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. My professor, a lot of people, they're potentates, European Masons. When I say I put they light out, it ain't nothing disrespect. It's the wisdom. It's no disrespect. It's no disrespect. So a lot of Moors don't know about me because they're not in that sector of scholarship. If they was in that sector, if you look me up at GCU and be like, oh yes, and look me up, other people look at the work I do as a Moor, you'd be like, yeah. But you had young scholars like in Boston, like William Neal during the 1830s, who studied law and became the first black American to hold a post in the federal government. In 1853, he authored Services of the Colored American in the Wars of 1776 and 1812. And 3 years later, he penned The Colored Patriots of the American Revolution. I can show y'all, I can walk y'all all through history, man, and show we've been whitewashed. Just like the Wilmington white man constitution. When things is done in law, I said, man, I do things in law legally. You should want to be part of a tribe. That's what Moors don't understand, because the religious rights, it trumps everything. That's why our prophet said, don't give away your name for a morsel. It's some things that's contingent. I mean, I tell people, oh, you don't think the religious rights mean nothing? It does. Especially when you're dealing with a holy priest, especially when you're dealing with a shaman. You have to be claimed, baptized, adopted. In what? In this tribe. When you, I'm telling you, and every European Albion know what I'm talking about. Because the first time when they get in trouble, if they a priest or anything, I mean, if they Catholic, their priest is coming to speak on their behalf. The same way I do. The same way when I'm in Michigan, I go to the prisons. And Moors and people to be, and we have Moors go around and talk about, oh, your last name is some slave name. I said, prove that when law. And then I talk about the Resolution 75. Moors be sheets be talking about your last name is a slave name. That's some Al-Islam stuff. Your last name ain't no slave name. This is a fact. Malcolm figured that out when he went to Mecca. Come on, what was his name? Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Noble Drew Ali didn't get rid of his name. He was Timothy Drew. Noble Drew Ali. So come on, the Resolution 75 clearly says that we have the right of our annexation, our suffix. You annex. I love my brothers, man. I have a lot of people in my family. My dad was a high Mason. I teach this. I try to tell them Prince Hall brothers, they wear a shirt of a memory of Haram Abiff. You don't know the true history of Haram Abiff and who buried them, the three Jubes, Jabal, Jabum, and Jubim, and had a jubilee, and they buried you in the North Gate, the tomb, the pentagram, and then you don't know what the acacia tree is. It symbolized the death burial. We don't know this. We don't know. It ain't nothing. How can anything black be ancient? How? And no one ancient call themselves black. How can a European be ancient? What is Prince Hall? You think we got to get our rights and our charters from Europeans? That's backwards. And then I asked Masons, brothers, what degree are you? 32 degrees. And I'm like, well, 32 degrees is just a level above freezing. In meteorology, that's when water freezes. The last thing that a Freemason knows is the first thing that I teach you. And that's the problem with Masons, because they went to a science that's not their foremothers and forefathers. And the Negroes don't understand that. You can't be black and a Mason. There's nothing free about a slave. These is facts. You are more, and you don't know it. I teach all the sciences. What's laid out on the table. When I get into Aladdin and Arabia of the latter days, when I get into the high science, Masons know what I'm talking about, because I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. Real talk. Masons know exactly what I'm talking about. And then a lot of European Masons and Negro Masons, they love Manly P. Hall. They don't understand all that stuff that's on the outside of their skirt, those workman tools that would just allow them to be identified as Moors. Because those are the tools that perfect us. That's in our Moors Quran, chapter 5. These are the tools inside to perfect us. This ain't just no clubhouse. We are the shrine. Moors know exactly what I'm saying. And the Freemasons and the Prince Hall Masons, they know exactly what I'm saying. I'm not coming with no slander. I'm coming to tell you to resurrect yourself, because they done buried you in a shallow grave in the North Gate, especially my Asiatic empresses that go around talking about they some Eastern stars. So I said, so you under the auspices of the DAR? What's the DAR? The Daughters of American Revolution, the ones that made that marriage license. And then Negroes go around and twist the teachings, because I study everything. It's books that say the prophet said go down to the city hall and get his marriage license. And then you got other writings from a truthful person. If you have a tribe and if you have a tribal leader, your tribal leader can do that unity, that union. You can get your own certificate and do all that. And it's legal and it's legit. We don't need a third party in no contract. These is facts. Why? Because back in the day, our tribe, we jumped the broom. See, when I tell people, when I teach this, ask a European, when you connect, when you or a lawyer, when you establish the right way, a school, a church, a municipality. You a body. You can do these things. You know I'm telling the truth. Just like that's like the Masons. Just like the Shriner. I'm set up the same way. Tax exempt for the federal government. So I'm not here to hate. I'm not here to disrespect brothers. Why you think most brothers that's black Masons, they don't wear the fez in their regular life? That be the Scottish rites or other European rites. It ain't, you don't see no, I ain't seen no black Prince Hall Masons wear the fez freely, and then they act like they don't know nothing about the fez, and then you will see those brothers and their tassel is pinned down. Why are your tassel pinned down? And then why would you let somebody defile your fez? Why? Why? And then you ask a Mason what they'll play stupid and act like they don't know the science of the fez. I say, well, what the fez symbolize? You don't know the fez symbolize 360 degrees? You don't know what the umbilical cord is? The navel, the tassels, the mundane ball that flows freely. You know this fez represents the Asiatic woman. They know it, and we wear it freely. That fez represent the birth cycle, 9 to the 9th to the 9th power, the 9 ethers. They know what I'm saying. And that graduation cap symbolizes the wisdom, the hex alpha, which is 360 degrees. The misnomer swastika too. I sit that up way and turn those all the way. That's 360 degrees of wisdom, 90, 90, 90, 90. And I'm telling you, every European, every high Mason, a potentate, know what I'm saying? Because my professor is a European potentate, and I'm his teacher. And every brother that's a Mason, they know I'm telling the truth. I have all the manuals and the higher manuals, not the lower level stuff, from the spirit wisdom and all that. To all the high science to let you know all this, even the clockwise, the Haram Abiff story, all that. They know I'm telling the truth. Ask a Mason, what's the science of Haram Abiff? Ask him. Ask him what that science all about and how they buried him in the North Gate. Ask these Freemason about some widow son. It ain't no widow son. If Allah the husband man, what widow son? That's not even true teachings. I teach this, y'all, and ain't nothing secret with me. It's sacred. This sacred science, and more, and Freemasons know I'm telling the truth. You'll never see me put my hand in my jacket to hide nothing. They'll tell you to be one, you must know one. You know me. My science trumps that 32 degrees. Because it takes 720 to be a complete. They know it. When they become to the shrine, what they say, Assalamu alaikum, and become what? A practicing Muslim. Tell me if I'm lying. Tell me if I'm lying. And then the Masons black Masons wear a shirt with tubal cane on it, a cane with some balls missing. I said, don't you know that's a sign of castration and memory of Haram Abiff? Oh, they buried you? You ain't resurrected? Ask me, am I lying? If I got any Prince Hall Masons, am I lying? Am I lying? I'll show you a lot of names they use. You don't even know what those names are. And then when I show you the names of them, it'd be all Egyptian gods. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. They know I'm not lying. I know you will never see a Freemason with the fez on. Everything on those European fez on J. Edgar Hoover is symbolized something. The scimitar is holy. The pentagram is holy. You don't know why they got the Asiatic woman on there? Because if they tell you the truth, off with the head, off with their head. That's the oath. Come on, man. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. And Negroes will take a death oath. What? To not tell you the truth. They won't even tell their own kids the truth. So if Masonry's so good, why you don't bring all your kids up in Masonry? What's the secret? See? I keep telling y'all, I got European Masons that I graduated with. I'm telling you the truth. They created the Prince Hall because they ain't want to, they created the black Prince Hall because they ain't want to be around you. Ask me I'm lying. And then they created your charter. Ask me am I lying. Negroes don't want, and most of them Negroes be in Greek fraternities. I mean, I know all this because I'm in the belly of the beast. And most of these brothers be in Greek fraternities. They be frauds. No disrespect. And the Greek is a fraud. Research Steve Coakley. A brother will sit in your face and lie. Like all these brothers with this so-called African-American history with this black shit, that stuff can easily be destroyed from scholarship. I ain't disrespecting you, but you know you can't come to me with no scholarship. You can come with your feeling, and I don't care about nobody feeling. You know? Thank you. Thank you, Kareem. It's the truth, Noble. They know it's the truth, but it will never fall from their lips. They're scared to death. Thank you, Kareem. Thank you. I love when brothers be honest because I know everybody that's a Mason, I know they charter. Your charter is stored somewhere. You know I'm telling the truth. It's public information. I've been telling people when a person come lie to you, I said, you don't know what the reading, you got the, it's called the Free Information Act, doc number, and precedent in law cases. You can't come lie to me. I have to be manufacturing everything. Come on. And then nigga will say, no, he a potentate, he a master mason. Where my charter? You mad because I'm a 99 degrees and I'm a sheik. You mad because I'm a scholar in education. You mad because I'm accepted everywhere. They got it. They know about all this. Man, I don't even got to show that. Noble. Man, Noble. When I start showing y'all all these ancient books that they know and how they connotate the names, and I correct the names, I'll be like, I'll show y'all, say this name mean this. They done change everything to the Greek. The Greek is a lie. I'm telling you, all that stuff is stolen legacy. George G.M. James told you stolen legacy. Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, that's just stolen Egyptian history. They know it. I did all this stuff in scholarship. I keep telling people that the European is not the joke of masonry. The Negro is. That's why I be laughing when Moors go around talking about the white man is, the white man is. The white man will tell you he a son of a Muslim. He'll tell you clearly, yes, I'm a son of a Muslim, with smiling clearly on his face. That's why they destroyed you and put you in a whole nother house, because they don't want to be around you. I'm telling you what I know. These brothers be playing so stupid, like they don't know nothing. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Knowing all this stuff is committed in history, they'll go to Hermetic. Hermetic what? Hermetic is connotated. Everybody know I'm telling the truth. All that stuff, Manly P, all them Europeans be saying, Manly P. Hall, Adam Blavatsky, Serapis Bey, a.k.a. Alex Crowley, Peter Lambert Wilson, a.k.a. the European Hakeem Bey. See, I corrected. Peter Lambert Wilson wrote the Sacred Drift of Islam about our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And when he came into science, his holy name is Hakeem Bey. Not the Moor, but a European named Hakeem Bey with a big beard. He wrote all those Moorish paradigm journals. See, I correct Moors, they be lying through their teeth. How I know? I know all these people. Peter Moon that wrote the Spandu Mysteries, I'm telling you. And then a lot of these Europeans be Freemasons, just like Behold the Pale Horse, he a Freemason. Just like the European that wrote the Anunnaki, Zachariah Stitchin, all that shit is garbage. All of it's garbage. They Freemasons. How I know? They know. And when people see me, I know they charter. I know the mission. Anybody that's a Freemason gonna lie to you right off the dribble. It's a brother, and I hate to say names. I don't want to say names because then people be like I'm picking. I'm just peculiar with words, and I listen what people say, and I say all you got to do is listen to what a person say. They'll tell on themselves. How I know? When I used to deal with cases, when I say you got the right to remain silent, anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. I'll just twist you up, make you say something for the record, throw it right back at your ass, lock your ass up for contempt of court, use that against you to prove that you a liar. So back to what I'm saying. On these shows, a brother, and I say, yeah, he smart, an older elder. He was on that show, he told you. He said, yeah, he was talking, saying a little bit, but he said, I'm only gonna say a little bit because I'm a Freemason. And I'm like, did y'all hear what this man just said? I'm like, did y'all hear what this so-called elder just said? On this show, he said, I'm not gonna go no far because I'm a Freemason. Most of these people be Freemasons. I'm telling you the facts. They only gonna tell you a little bit. I'll show you they charter. That's why they ain't gonna say nothing to me, because you have to reveal yourself. You must, when you see the elite, you must reveal yourself. If you a Mason, you gotta reveal yourself. You're gonna know, because you know I know. And this brother on there, he talking a little bit, and I'm like, you jumping all around. Then he said, I'm only gonna go this far. Why? Because that's what they do. Tell me I'm lying. Man, we'll remove the veil. We'll remove the veil. That's like our prophet did. I'm doing the same thing. We'll remove the veil of religious dogma. Come on. And ask me do them Freemason study. I get the teachers that they so-called study and be like, well, you can't disagree with nothing I'm saying, and I'm gonna use your books. You can't disagree, and I ask some more. I said, you don't know what this tomb and this pentagram and all these workmen, you don't know what that symbolized? You don't know that they who they so-called buried there? And the 3 Jews, how they buried you in the North Gate? You don't know all this? And you will let some European or some Negro say how you wear a shirt, we'll talk about in memory of Haram Abiff, and how you wearing a symbol with a cane with 2 balls on it? you rocking some castration? Talk to me, man. It's Misnomer Black History Month. I just cleared up some history. I ain't even touched in it. And I can show you how your own people lie to you. That's why I say, man, I graduated from college with a master's degree, with minors in other fields. I'm saying this because I had to be manufactural. Your own people to lie to you. I showed this clearly. Just like Willie Lynch. I love Farrakhan for what he did and cleaning people up and all that. But don't y'all know it was on Nightline, the brother that they let out of jail for setting up killing Malcolm X, and his brother didn't do it. And these so-called righteous brothers let this man go to jail for all this time. See, brothers don't be right. Just like Patrice Lumumba in the Congo. Look who killed him. The European couldn't do it all. They had to have your brother to help. So it go across the board. Your own people to lie to you. When Farrakhan talked about the Willie Lynch at the Million Man March, Farrakhan is an educated man. He knew he was lying. It wasn't no Willie Lynch. No so-called slave master in the first century wrote about that. No slave in that time, Frederick Douglass or anyone wrote about that. And in Sunday school, I gave y'all what the first century history writers, I showed y'all pictures. So how can we accept something from a person to write some narrative? That's false. The Willie Lynch is a lie. You had a rapper named Talib Kweli wrote about the Willie Lynch. That shit is false. It ain't no Willie Lynch letter. The language ain't right. I did that in college. Got a standing ovation. Alex Haley Roots is a lie. He lied about that. It's all plagiarized from a European book called Harold Colander. It's called The African. No one can deny what I'm saying. When the brothers and when they join those Greek fraternities, they give the credit to the Greek and they sign an oath to bow down to the Greek. And the Greek is a lie. The Greek is not original. The European will tell you that. That's why it's called Greek mythology. The secret off of all, watch this. Hey, Kevin, and ask me, am I lying? Watch this. And Kevin, no, he said the secret teachings of all ages. Who is that, Manly P. Hall or Adam Blavatsky? Watch this. The secret teachings of all ages. Watch this. Is that Manly P. Hall or Adam Blavatsky? Which one? Watch this and watch, we can agree. That's why I tell Moors, you got to agree. Moors be giving credit to the European because they perverse shit. Because they took your science and twisted. You're going to get them and be afraid of your shit. Like, look at the Baphomet. They got you don't know what the Baphomet represent because you don't know how to read Kabbalistically. The Baphomet is Tip, Hopes, Abs, Abba, the temple of David. Are we from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood? The damn Baphomet symbolize science, and you don't know. See? Ask me, am I lying? Negroes don't know how to read Kabbalistically. You afraid all animal figures are nothing but papyrus hieroglyphs. If you understand this science, which most Negroes don't because they're not initiated. Being initiated ain't nothing wrong being initiated. Just like if you was taking martial arts, you going through the initiated to become high rank. You just don't come initiated by putting the fez on in a turban or because you done read something. You got to be what you read. You got to be the holy bush. You got to be a teacher. You got to be able to teach not only your own people because sometimes your own people don't accept you. A prophet of angels is no good in his own country. I be on the universities teaching, it be packed. With Moors, no more know me, but my tribe, because I have a tribe. And I'm fine with that. But the secret teachers of all ages, who is that, Manly P. Hall or Adam Blavatsky? Noble, watch this. I'm going to start showing y'all all this stuff. They all give credit to our prophet. If Manly P. Hall was sitting right here with me, I'll correct all Manly P. Hall teaching. And I'll say, I hear you, but that's only 32 degrees of wisdom. He'll have to let me take it further. I explain everything he's saying, reading through signs and symbols. I take you through all the charts that they hide, that they locked up, that brothers talk about, oh, they ain't got this. All the books that you see Moors on TV saying, they'll be, thank you. All them brothers on TV, they be saying they don't have this book and this book ain't available. I have it. I have the library. You will see Moors, and I ain't gonna say their name. It's a book called The Unknown Arab. You can't get this book. They'll be talking about books. You can't get this book. I have every book. They'll talk about dictionaries of medical field that you can't get. Or you can't. I have everyone. Why? Because that's what I spend my money on. I created this shit to PDF so we can have them. Everybody know what I'm talking about. Every one of Manly P. Hall's lectures is more science. Every one of them, and then don't get the, when you talk about the constellations, that's more science. So why we got to let the European teach us? Why we got to be Freemasons? And your brother right here in the flesh, every brother that's a Freemason should be under the auspices. Especially if you're a Freemason, because you know I'm telling you the truth. And I can take you way to the next level. Because the science you know is elementary science, and it might not even be. Because I know Prince Hall Masons, I say, do you know what the acacia tree is? No. Because I had a brother that was trying to rock with me, named this company Acacia, and I say, you don't know what that means? He said no. And I said, it's only two things. Either you lying and you don't know. So if you a Mason and you don't know, that's messed up. If you lying, that's messed up too. But here it is, I'm part of something, and I name my company the Acacia, and I'm a Mason, and I don't know what that is. And that's where they buried you in a shallow grave. That's the marking place of your tomb and all that. How can you not know? And if you don't know, that's messed up. And if you do know, why are you lying to me? Because you're not responsible for what you didn't know. It's okay. When brothers join brotherhoods, it's okay. But when you resurrected, you're responsible when you're in the know. You can't be in the know and still do the dumb shit. You got to let that all go. Right then, the same way you would tell your child. Once you understand, once you come into life, you got to reject all that bullshit. You can't still be assimilated with that and know the truth. You just as guilty as somebody, or even worse, at a person that don't know. We know. And here it is, brothers say they Prince Hall Masons, no disrespect to nobody, and not under their brother's auspices. So what's the purpose of a person being a Prince Hall Mason? Pageantry. Especially when a lot of black Masons, they come through fraternities, especially the Q dogs, and you get branded, and then you no disrespect. No disrespect. Because I got homies, I'm from Flint, Michigan. I got homies that's Q. But you can't be mad at what I say, because people love the show. I know girls in fraternities, they'll sit down on the side, they'll say, Sheik, your boy lying. This is what they do on the side. And I'm like, damn, no disrespect. And I'm like, why is a whole bunch of grown men jumping with their asses out? And she like, that's what they do. I said, so that's what Negroes want to do in secrecy? Jumping around with all that dumb shit? All these dumbass rituals? I say the ritual, what I do is the science, the initiation is learning, is being a part of something. You will be a part of something and wear all that stuff on your skirt, and you don't know nothing. I broke this down yesterday live on YouTube. The first house, the lower house, any lower level Mason to know, the first house, what you study, Christianity. When you get to the higher house, what you study, Islam. And then you become a practicing Mason. And then don't get into the Kemetic degrees, because all your signs and symbols are Egyptian signs and symbols. What? Everything. You just don't know. They buried you. They hid it. Ask me, am I lying? Noble Kareem, that's a Prince Hall Mason. That's why I tell brothers, tell the truth. And the truth will make you free. We can't be upset. I can illuminate all the teachings. I can guarantee you I get the whole, I don't care what charter these Prince Hall Masons from, and I can illuminate their teachings. Why? Because I did it with I did it in college. And every European potentate that was Scottish Rite, they sat on their hands. They like, that's true. That's true. You're supposed to teach your people. Man, when I show y'all books, Thomas Jefferson Quran, all those pictures where you see the Moor on the cover with all this regalia on, that's not a slave. I'm telling you what I know, man. All in history. When I was lecturing yesterday on Sunday school, the Negro question, and I was showing y'all all those figures in so-called Christian history that you think we don't have no monuments. We do. They don't have no monuments. That's why they tried to bury all your shit and put it in museums and put it in personal museums and whitewash it with they fake shit. But you can't do that to a scholar, because most of our shit is locked up in Britain and European museums. I showed y'all this shit yesterday. I showed y'all the King James, the Black Boy. I showed y'all all these pictures, and I ain't even done. Every scholar agree with me. Every Moor should be rocking with me. And then if you a Moor and you a Mason, you don't have the divine creed of Moorish Islam, I've gathered and compiled books, Sufism and the Triple Rule of the Adapt Chamber, featuring our Kemetic and Adapt Manual and the use of our carpenter tools. Ask a Freemason, they know about the 7 Kemetic principles, connotated Hermetic. They know about the 7 Kemetic principles. I ask any Freemason or any brother with some sense, I say, you got to agree, because I say, okay, I just deal with the 7 Kemetic principles. Connotated Hermetic. Read the 7 Kemetic principles and see, would you disagree with me? And I said, well, how can you be a scientist and you don't know the 7 Hermetic principles? Because the Kemetic principles, connotated Hermetic, because the 7 Kemetic principles is something we all should agree upon, because that's universal law. Ask me, am I lying? How can you be a scientist, a Freemason, or anything, and I start breaking logic down, things that we can agree on, and I break the 7 Kemetic principles down? What would you gonna have to say against that? What can you say? What can a person with some sense that's a scientist say? But Islam, Ashe, Assalamu Alaikum, Hotep, Ayah Ashaya, peace be with you. What else can you say? Or then if you a comedic, a scholar, an adapt, a sheik, and I say, well, what's the triple role of the adapt chamber? But you say you a sheik like me. You want your tassel to be 18 inches. You want your tassel to be 24 inches. You put a fez on and just own Google University. Get rid of Google University. This is simple stuff. We don't know the Kemetic principles. I ask them, and then Freemason, I say, what's the unto thee I grant? They know what I'm talking about. Because if you under anything, you understand monotheism. And if you don't understand the triple role of the adapt chamber, the three religious rite, the Fatimid, the Paraclete, and the so-called Jerusalem rite, you got to understand this. You got to understand the science, because you shouldn't gravitate to one science to where you miss the rest. They know what I'm saying. They know exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, what's the 7 Kemetic principles? They'll say, oh, you mean Hermetic? No, I ain't say Hermetic. I said Kemetic principles. They know what I'm saying. They want to research all that stuff that come from Greek, or the Hermetic this, the Greek this. I'm like, man, y'all know exactly what I'm saying. Come on, man. Real talk. And we be afraid of our own shadow. And I speak like this around Europeans and things. And then Negroes be like, man, well, you scared? Scared of what? It's a copyright law in court. I can speak this. I speak proudly. I speak boldly from history. The Negro is lost due to a lack of knowledge. Why? Because we refuse to learn. The Negro is the joke of masonry. Why? Because we let people that's not scholars just bury us with falseness. And we afraid for asked to prove it. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things to hold fast to what is good. Thomas wasn't doubting in the biblical scriptures. Thomas like, you say you do all this? Prove it. Prove it. You say you can move mountains, you taking everything literal, you don't understand parable, analogy, symbology, prove it. Go outside and move that mountain. You can't. You don't understand esoteric science and exoteric science. And then you got these Prince Hall Masons, no disrespect, I ain't talking about Kareem, I'm just saying in general, they'll talk all this stuff. And I say, what's esoteric and what's esoteric? But because they heard that from Manly P. Hall. They're here. Manly P. Hall talk about esoteric and exoteric. And if Manly P. Hall was in the flesh, he'll sit on his hands listening to me, because he'll have to. Because I'll let him speak, and then I take it way farther. I take it all the way to the third heaven. I break even C. Freeman L. I love my scholar. I'm training in a way to do these things. So when a person be saying resurrected, I ain't them. Resurrection is the teachings. The teaching is old. It's only people in the flesh that can go back in history and bring it. No one dead can come and bring it history. That don't even make sense. How can someone dead and gone resurrect something? I can reach back in history and bring and correct teachings. Why? With the truth, and put the tables in front of you instead of someone that's telling you something. That's why. And we shouldn't get mad. We should accept it from our scholars and teachers. What I'm saying is a fact. What? An actual fact. Just like with my so-called Islam brothers, Al-Islam, and they come to me with that red book. Y'all know that red book, the Supreme Wisdoms of Fire Muhammad, and I correct all those teachings. And I say, if you're going to come with me and say something matter-factual, I hope you check in the work. If you're coming to me with a mathematical equation, I hope you check the work. You can't come to me with no mathematical equation and say the square root of the earth is this, and it's this. Where you get it from? Prove it. You can't. Because I done took that and dissected that whole book, and I said, this not true, this not true, this not true. And the true imam said, you 100% right. They're like, you 100% right. I'm like, I know, I ain't even went to the third heaven. Them Europeans be taking the basic stuff, and when they speak, we act like that's so holy. That's elementary science. That's in school, the elements. Every scholar know it. That's the elements. A European to talk about something, that ain't nothing. You know, I'm like, none of that stuff is nothing. All of that makes the stuff, the Osiris mysteries, they'll break that down. When I talk about the Aya Horus, what you mean, 9 to the 9 to the 9th power? I break all that African Hika down. That's supreme mathematics. I break that down and say, what you mean, supreme 9? Binary system 2? 0 is nothing but a placeholder. What you talking about? They take some of the basics and try to act like it's so heavy. Okay, well, explain esoteric and exoteric. Because, and then when more say occult, do you know what occult really mean? See, we can correct teachings. I'm telling you, man, it's no slander, it's no disrespect. It's like we have to be a part. We have, if we say the truth, well, the truth will make you free. How can you say something manufactured when you have nothing to compare to? We come on. We must research as scholars. That's what we're supposed to do. Our prophet didn't create the Moorish Science Temple to be no Islamic sect or to overthrow no government. It was the school of Moors to teach your nationality and spirituality, to go out and create your own, to put your own people in office, to spend your money with your own people, to have your own scholars, to have your own prophets. That's what this was about. If we Moors, every Moor should have a fez. I create them. I tell him, a Moor came to me one day, he was like, Sheik, ain't no way in hell these Moors making these videos and they talk this about the misnomer white man, and then the first thing you ask them is where they get their fez from. And then it'd be crickets. Because I know where they got their fez from if they didn't get it from me. Because those platforms don't make them. All those platforms where Negroes to get their fez from, if they didn't got it, a true fez with the proper perforation for symbology, if you got it from the Masonic store get their fezes from the same place I get. So when Moors we talk about they support Moorish business, I ask them more plain and simple, where you get your fez from? Where you get your she-mag from? Amazon. I'm like, you want to get your holy garments from Amazon instead of from a sheik? I don't want none of that stuff discounted. I want to get it from a person that represents that. I don't want to get nothing from Amazon. I don't care how cheap you can try to make it, because it ain't a cheap product. $125 for a fez is great. And I see these brothers buying headbands with stars and moons on them for $500. No disrespect to nobody, but I'm a Moor. I keep telling Moors, why are you afraid of masonry? Moor is the pedigree. Masonry is the science. You are a Mason. That's the mind and the sun. 360 degrees is just the sum total of material wisdom. 720 is the sum total of both spiritual and physical. You must master yourself. The KORAN, knowledge, order, rhythm, astrology, astronomy, nature. All the things I could talk about, the astrological signs, the 12-step ladder, all that is the brain. The cherubim and the cherubim, the Christ, the Afruka, all the stuff we can clear up. Just like, no disrespect, just like Negroes was making this documentary, and it was like, I forget, and somebody sent something to me, and y'all know the name of the documentary, somebody can tell me. And the brother that was doing the documentaries talk about some Africa is named after a European, and Empress hit me up, and I was like, why is this lady calling me? She was like, Sheik. She was like, these brothers lying, they're doing the same thing the European do. And I'm like, what? She like passing lies on for truth. She like, you did this at the college campus because her son knew me. And when she was speaking about me being a Moor, and she was like, is his name? A lot of people be misquoting my name, Kahari. And she was like, no, his name is Kari. And she was like, is he getting this dual master degree from GCU? She was like, I don't know. Showed him a picture. She was like, yes, I did this on the college campus. No one can be mad what I'm saying. Destroy all the pseudo-academia, the Eurocentric and the Negrocentric propaganda. It's us. It's us. Our own brothers, sisters, they'll tell you your freedom is connected to blackness. According to science and law, black means death. Yes or no? Obama did nothing for black people. I know, he was an attorney, he told you. In science and law, black mean death. The Dred Scott law was never abolished. If you identify as black, Negro, African American, you a slave for life. What does silver mortis mean? Come on, man, y'all gotta know this. What's the black Christian codes? Why would anybody identify as black? Is it black an adjective, yes or no? Black is an adjective. I'm not an adjective. They use black to describe the Moor, Tawny Moor, Egyptian Moor. But they was using that to depict who? A Moor. I'm telling you, just like in the 1599 Geneva Bible, it don't say African, it don't say Ethiopian, it says a blackamoor. Research it. The European agree with me. I get them old dictionaries to show you that Moor mean Westerner, and then you got it, and the person say Moor don't mean Westerner. I said, how you know if you ain't researched it? Calm down. When I break the science down, you'll be like, oh shit, yep. When I show you what a true Arab is, not A-R-A-P, A-R-A-B, the European, A-R-A-P, Arab, the European, agree with me. I get Vladimir's dictionary. It was the 1886 definition of Arab. It break it all down, all monuments. It ain't what you think. You want to talk about some Jew, who the true Jew, the European? When I was in college, one of the professors went to Nigeria before we had the chance to go. Came back with all the documents and proved that the European genetically is not the Jew. The Igbo and the Igbo is. We had all the documents with under the Hebraic laws, all this before a colonizer came. The European agree with me. I use their books. When I get the Jewish encyclopedia, I say, this is who you say you are. No one, anti-Semitic, I get your pen to show you why they say why they made this stuff up. See, no one can argue with me because I'll use your book. I don't have to bow down to nothing. What I'm saying is truth, and the truth will make you free. Everybody know I'm telling the truth. Every scholar, every European potentate. Why? Because if I was talking crazy, ain't no way in hell I graduated from GCU and most of them professors, them European professors, them Albion professors, the Trelodike professors, I'm just being honest, I'm using their words. I graduated with honors, and all of them were Freemasons, all different denominations of Catholic. And so here it is, a brother coming into Grand Canyon University, getting a master's in first century history and religion, and graduate with honors. I have my whole graduation on YouTube, everything. Everybody know I ain't lying. I have my Hebrew stole on, the same stole you see Wentworth Matthews have on, of the more Zionist Jews, of the more Zionist temple, all this stuff ours. Graduated just like that. Had people eyes bucked. Graduated with honors, the only more in my class. The only more in my class. I did everything as a more. I did everything as a more. And I'm an alumni, and I steady go on campus each day, every Wednesday, and do my thing and teach and provide books for college students. And don't no mores deal with me like that. When I'm on campus, they don't no mores deal with me like that. What you say? Ain't nobody on YouTube breaking. What you say? What you say? No, hold on. Ain't nobody on YouTube breaking down like Noble. I'll be making my donation soon. More I value what you're doing. And watch this, Noble. Let me tell you how real I am. When you give a donation, Noble, I'm giving you books. That's why I say it's value. If you came to my Sunday school on Zoom, and we do a little snippets on Instagram, burningbushtabernacle.ts on Instagram. But if you give a donation, I don't give a damn if you give a $5 donation. I'm gonna give you a book. I gathered and compiled over 10 books. You give a $5 donation, I'm gonna give you my book, Divine Creed of Moorish Islam. You give another $5 donation, I'm gonna give you Sufism and Tripura, the Adapt Chamber. You give another $5, I'm gonna give you the House of Ali and Adapt Chamber. You give another $5, I'm gonna give you my Healthy Eating and Living book. You get another $5, I'm gonna give you my my book that I show you how to make vegan treats, show you how to make good meals. And then I have a whole library. I have a whole library. Go on mypdfbooks.com right now, books with the Z, and look at that, the books that I sell. When people deal with me, I'm my own boss. Anything that I sell, that's why I do charity. Nobody's gonna donate to me and don't get value. Everything a person that donate to me, they'll look at what they donate and be like, damn, I gave this, and what he gave me is like 1,000 times worth the value. Ask my members. Some of my members on here right now. They got books that cost 250 grand. 103 Amazing Facts About the Negro is 250 grand on Amazon. Well, actually, it's unavailable right now. And it was a young noble, a young Moor. I don't know if he identified as a Moor, but I call everybody Moor, because you a Moor, you just don't know it. And he was making a YouTube video, and he was talking about the 103 amazing facts about the Indian of the Western Hemisphere. He was talking about that, and he was like, hey man, he found a site that he was able to get that document for $25. Well, you can't find the site no more. I got the documents. I got the documents. Every book that you would buy on Amazon for hundreds of dollars, I got them available PDF for a fraction of the price. I read every book. Golden Age of the Moors, Peter Lambert Wilson, Judah Trembles Under Rome. That's $900 on Amazon. We getting ready to convert Harold Callender, the African. I mean, I got a whole bunch of books. I got some ancient books that we ain't even converted yet. I'm gonna have my nobles convert. Abraham Melham, the Magi. Man, we got a whole bunch of books. The First Americans Were African by Imhotep. That book is $1,000 on Amazon. We convert all these books, make them PDFs like 40, 50 bucks. And then you have it, it's electric. You can give it to your homeboy and he can download it on his tablet or go to Office Max and Staples and have them bind it and print it in book form. But I got all that stuff in my garage. I print my own books. All my books, I publish and author and everything. I don't have to put none of my books on Amazon. I don't care about that. I got my own web page, mypdfbooks.com. You can go on there and download any book for a small price. MorrisHaberdasher.com. You can get all your Moorish American regalia and much, much more. BBT, ScienceTemple.com is our Temple and School web page. BurningBushTabernacle.ts is our Temple and School web page on Instagram. I share the wisdom. Like right here, I just showed y'all the history, how they whitewashed the Moors out of the history books, out of Battle of Bunker Hill. I'm a historian. All Misnomer Black History Month, I'm gonna give you scholarship in history. I'm not here to debate and argue with no old stuff and what's this. I'm telling you should read everything. A sheikh talk about you don't read the Quran because our prophet Noble Ali got the Moorish Quran. That's limited. The Moorish Quran is a compilation. That means you limited. Our prophet said we study all the sciences to where we don't miss the essence of none of them, and we don't gravitate to one to where we miss the essence of all the rest. Our prophet was an adept, like myself, an adept. So how you gonna say you an adept and a sheikh and you ain't studied all the holy books and you say you ain't never touched the Quran? I gotta read the Quran because this is what the brother said, all braggadociously. I don't gotta read the Quran. My prophet, the Moorish Quran is a compilation. And so if the Moorish Quran is a compilation of what, you should know what books. So if the Moorish Quran is a compilation of some other holy books and manuals, you should have those holy books and manuals. And you should speak love for all holy books and not be ignorant of that. You should speak love from all holy books as an adept and a scholar and a sheikh. And the person that say you a scholar. I'm not here to diss no one. I don't care about nobody getting mad. That's all Moors do, get mad on the internet. I said, dude, I'm just telling you facts. If the Moorish Quran is a compilation of holy books and you ain't read no holy books, that you say you only read the Moorish Quran, you are limited. Because a lot of stuff that's in the Moorish Quran, you can get in some of the Brahmin texts and see some of the same stuff word for word. You got to know this. Ain't no way I haven't read the Unto Thee I Grant. Ain't no way I haven't read the Aquarian Gospels. Ain't no way I haven't read the Al-Islam Quran. Ain't no way I haven't studied and understand the Bible. Which one? All Bibles, all languages. I don't care what century or what version. I read, you're supposed to read history books. You're supposed to know law books. So when you say something like that and say you have never read the Quran and said out your mouth, you never read it, dude, you limited. That ain't no hate. That's a fact. If I said I never read the Quran or the Bible and all I read is the Moorish Quran, you can say I'm limited. You can say that. I compared the same thing to martial arts. If you say, oh man, I don't use weapons and I don't use my feet, I just use my hands. You limited. So you don't use your brain. You don't use your hand. All you use is your feet. You limited. And you not spiritual? No. See, in that aspect, that's that orthodox aspect. So when you see martial arts, you will see them with the misquoted swastika on it. Look at it. That ain't nothing. Hitler got that from the Asiatics. I'm telling you, that symbolizes orthodox. That symbolizes those certain monks was not only good in their skill, they was under a certain discipline. You know, everybody know what I'm saying. You look at the monks, you will see it. All different other people, it'll show what discipline they under. They under a particular orthodox science. Understood that they were spiritual. A lot of martial arts movies, because I love martial arts. I study Wing Chun, aka Sticky Hands. You will see a lot of them, those spiritual warriors, they're able to go into a different place. They're allowed to be able to change their pressure points. It's a different auspice that they under. And everybody know I'm telling the truth. So how can a scholar and a sheikh say, I don't study this? You limited. You can't come in and battle with me. You can't sit and have a conversation. You'll be making everything up. One, because if we can have a scholarship, a conversation as sheiks, as adapts over the Al-Islam Quran of Muhammad, you can't have a conversation with me. Right, nobles? Yes or no? And I'm done, right? Because you admitted that you ain't read it. So a nigga will get on there and base all their stuff on a belief system. And the Balai, they'll be trying to go on Google. See, you're limited. We're supposed to study all the science, all the Gnostic teaching. If you a sheik, if you adapt, I ain't saying you ain't nice. I ain't saying a person don't say good stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, how can you say you a sheik and adapt, a scholar, a leader of people, and you ain't read all holy books, and you're not familiar with all holy books to synchronize the Quran and the Bible? You should be able to do that. I've done it plenty of times. 1, 2, 3, the number system, the monotheism. I removed that. It's no difference. No one can deny what I'm saying. So how can a person say they understand Islamic history? Just like I lectured last night when I was talking about our Moor Salat, and it ain't orthodox. And if you read the Quran, the Al-Salat is done standing, not prostrating. The Al-Salat. I don't have no problem with doing 5. I don't have no problem doing what they say, but don't say some law and it ain't written. Understand that it's tradition. You got to understand that it's some things tradition. And I ain't mad with some people with tradition. I'm not, but I'm a holy man. I'm adapt. I must know all holy books. I must be proficient in all books. I must know all the holy tablets. I must understand the cipher. I must understand how to break down that 9 to the ninth power of 9, and then break it down and show you how the 9 is the powerful, and then the 6 is the other, a lower science. You got to know what I'm saying. I study all the crafts. That's why, like I'm saying, a lot of people will take things and try to make it theirs, like Dr. York. I love all scholars, but they implement themselves and try to regurgitate it and make it seem like it's their science. No, 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 no. This is ancient science. I teach the ancient science. I remove myself and teach the science. I'm nothing but a vessel. Dr. York was a Moor. He studied, he spoke about the 9 ethers, the 9 to the 9th. A lot of people just don't know it, but he implemented himself. I'm a prophet and angel in the flesh. I teach the science. In the flesh, all those people dead and gone. By me, him it. Of C. Freeman L. All those scholars will sit down right there and be like, yeah, he teaching the science. What are y'all talking about? He's in the flesh. I got all the charts. I teach the charts. I was just breaking down C. Freeman L. charts in my brain. When I break down EGYPT, I break down what it means, the Quran. I break down what the circle means. I break down what the so-called swastika mean. That's a person that can teach esoterically and exoterically. That can teach the metaphysics of the Bible and the allegory and the generalities. No way a brother should say they a sheik and they say, oh, I ain't read that, and say it boldly. And then, cause I don't give a shit about that. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So that mean if you ain't read that, you ain't read the Bible. You ain't read the Tibetan text. You ain't read the Unto the Eye Grant, because a lot of this stuff come from other books. Every book our prophet did he said, gathered and compiled and divinely prepared. He gathered and compiled and divinely prepared. So if you was doing a research paper and you dissecting it, you telling me you can't say where the information come from? Because I can. And the prophet Noble Drew Ali be like, yes, this information came from here. Noble Drew Ali didn't say he orchestrated anything. He said he gathered, compiled, and divinely prepared. That means it came from somewhere. So if you a sheik, you should be able to pull in that Moorish Quran where all this science come and where it's at in all the holy books. No matter what you believe, you should be able to touch all holy books, the Tibetan books, the Book of the Dead, all books, and show where you are in law and history and everything. That simple. You should be able to do that. Somebody tell me I'm lying, man. I told you we lost due to a lack of knowledge because we refused to learn. We'll talk about some European, and no European, no white man, no Albion, no Trelodike, no caveman never had the power to overthrow you without your own people assisting. I just gave you an analogy of Patrice Lumumba in the Congo. A brother will sell you out in a drop of a hat, and then you let Negroes create their own narrative. This is what they'll say: the Moors enslaved the Africans. Dude, that was King Leopold taking over the Congo. So you got a group of people, either you gonna roll with it or you gonna die. Leopold used that fez as part of his army uniform, the same way Hitler did. Hell, a Negro will sell you out right now because he don't want to do 3 months in jail. A Negro will sell you out just like that. I showed y'all documents of the brother, how he sold the whole movement out, how he snitched on everything because he didn't want to go to jail for 3 months. Your own brother telling the whole operation. Look at it. And we try to act like the hat did it. Man, okay, a nigger will wear the Yankees hat and kill you. You will wear one. The feds didn't do that. The feds represent something. And whoever wear that fez, they should. That's what it represents. Y'all know I'm telling y'all the truth. The fez is ancient. The fez is a national headdress of the Moors. I ain't saying what nobody else adopted the fez to do. I don't care about what nobody else. I'm talking about me. The fez is the national headdress of the Asiatic Moors in America. No one can deny what I'm saying. No one. And I said, I ain't here to debate. I'm here to shoot from. I shoot from the lip, not the hip. We ain't have a problem with Khalid Muhammad. I don't got a problem with nobody being no Muslim, but you ain't gonna put your religion on me. I'm a Moor. I study them all. Just like Khalid Muhammad said, he said, yeah, he a Muslim, but he said, I know I'm a Moor. Got enough right to know he a Moor. I don't have no problem with nobody that study something, but I hope you teaching the truth and you ain't finna promulgate no belief system to me. Because I study all your books, especially the Hadith, where it call you a razorhead, and it names all Muhammad's slaves. So you can't come to me about something that you think you know and you haven't studied all your teachings, and you don't have the adapt manuals that these people be holding them books and all that stuff. I said they rewriting themselves in history. You can't write yourself and put your name on the book and you wasn't there. The Zodiac laws, and I say all this stuff can be researched in the Library of Congress. A person that lied to you. The Quarian Gospels, listen, the Quarian Gospels, Alicius Levi is a transcriber. I got their documents. Alicius Levi, I tell you that he's nothing but a transcriber. Do we know what a transcriber is? I told you when you're dealing, the European always tell. He'll tell you, his followers will tell you. Do we know what a transcriber is? The transcriber is only writing down what they saw. All the holy books, all the books that were rejected out the Bible, all the books that they say ain't canon, all the Zohar, the Kabbalah, every European, they get to the higher level, they like, what you talking about, catechism? I'm like, them Islam Muslims not gonna tell you that. Man, you can get the history when so-called Muhammad walked the earth. Man, they know what I'm saying. I love what Keenan Mark. Oh boy, I just love what that noble just said. Cause I love when I know when people. That's why when people say keywords, I love it. Read those before I even got my Holy Quran, just like taking prereqs in college. I tell people this all day. How you gonna deal with civics and you ain't even deal with the prereqs? You want to get all in the advanced law and get your ass in trouble. Talk about you writing some writs. Talk about somebody done nationalized you. Got your goofy ass squatting in houses. Got you drive without license. You done jumped all the way here and don't know the prereqs. How the hell you get here? When you go into college, you can test out of math if you know what you're doing. But these Negroes be jumping out. I want to learn this. I want to learn this. You don't even know the prereqs. You going to jail. You want to get in more science like you finna get something. Because you a criminal. I don't want to pay child support. I want to write some writ. I don't want to do this. Oh, I don't want to pay taxes and don't understand the process of how to do things. I teach you how to do things in the right law, the right way, and being a part of a tribe, doing things the right way. I illuminate. And most people don't want to learn the prereqs because they're not initiated. Prereqs is a form of initiation. I tell people, when a person talk like that, like this noble just said, prereqs, that mean it's a base of understanding, then I can start with that noble. Because he understand prereqs is a form of understanding that you got to have before you get here. In academia, it's a thing called prerequisites. So say if you in community college, I start on a small level, and you say, I want to take English 101. And they say, dude, you fail English 9-9. Or a prerequisite, a 101 or 1 or 2, you can't go no higher level. You got to match this first. Or if you brilliant, you can test out a lot of stuff. Like I tested out of English 101 and 102. I tested out of basic math, and I tested out of basic algebra and all those things. I tested out of basic biology because it was easy for me because I just implanted myself. I tested out of micro and macro economics because I used it as the big money and little money. I made that shit real. When I talk about analytics, oh, that's how to get here and there. Oh, I figured that shit out. I was killing them. I just made it real. Oh, analytics, how I get this here to here and what time. I figured that shit out. And that's how I teach these kids. That's what we call prereqs. So when they go to these universities and these high schools and these elementaries, they be amazed. Why? Because they got the prereqs at home with me, with the sheik. That's how. I told y'all I do this shit in Arizona. I got over 15 kids under my auspices. And everybody know I'm telling the facts. And here it is, we say we love ourselves. It ain't no platform for us to get stuff. We got to buy things from European or black stuff because I'm not black, I'm a Moor. Everything I do is Moorishly owned. I tell people, you don't have to go to no other platform to get books. MyPDFBooks.com, we're Morrisely owned, to where you can download expensive books on your tablet, or you can go to Office Max and Staples and print those expensive books. Not only you have them, you have that book for your friend. If your friend want that book, you can sell that book to your friend for that same price. It became electric, aka a NFT. All Moorish American regalia, turbans, fez, she-mags, Moorish American regalia, and much, much more. MoorishHaberdasher.com. I'm right here. BBTScienceTemple.com is our temple and school webpage. BurningBushTabernacle.ts on Instagram. Inboxes, man. Go in there and what I say, subscribe to my Instagram page. Our temple and school is BurningBushTabernacle.ts. And every Sunday we do snippets of our Sunday school. My noble Brian probably put about 10 minutes on there. But we do it privately on Zoom. And I tell people, if you want to join me privately on Zoom, a small $10 donation, a small $20 donation, not only you're going to get the message, I'm going to give you literature. And the literature you get is going to be way worth more value than the funds you gave. And that's when people say, man, people be willing to give. And you see what I do with it, man. We got to be okay with this, because it takes money to make things. Ecclesiastic chapter, watch this. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 19, and I'm out of here. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, when these preachers be say money is the root to all evil, you a damn lie. How can money be a root to all evil? And if you tricking somebody, like if I got a Coke or a Faygo bottle and then I put poison in it and you drink, and I trick you and say drink it, and you drink it and you die, you didn't think it was poison because the packaging saying it's Faygo, and vice versa. You see what I'm saying? It's not the root to all evil. It's the vessel. It's the understanding. It's the degree of wisdom. Nothing is harmful. It takes this, in the physical, it take the misnomer fiat. These Moors be having me crying and laughing, especially these ones that call themselves some older sheiks, talking about fiat, and then, okay, you asking for donations, where you live, what you eat, how you getting all your food, do you got your own garden, are you producing your own, so you spending it with fiat. That's some stupid shit to say, money ain't no good, how you paying your bills? You got children? How you clothing your children? You sound like a clown. Do your kid go to a Moorish school? Nope. So your kid go to a public school? You lying all across the board. You just lying. And that's what these Moors do. I'd be like, you lying. So how do you got all the clothes that you got on? Somebody gave it to you, you bought that shit. And if you ain't buy it, somebody bought it. This stuff is too simple. I mean, I'm like, we crazy. It's nothing honorable being poor and broke. Nothing. Zilch. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 19. Wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. Wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. Money does trumps all, because most people problem is money. If money ain't the problem, every more should be donating. Everybody should be doing what's right, giving a small percentage of their funds. Because if your spirituality right, then your finances should be right. You should understand what we doing. But as adults, we spend osmosisly, and the first thing we say is, "Oh, when I do this," so that means I just gave the scripture. Wine is made for laughter, but money trumps all. Wait till I get my money right. Pac said, "I got my mind right. Now I got my money right." But we give homage to what we love. More spend their money to what we love. It's nothing wrong with fiat. It's nothing wrong with money. Moore's talking this Bitcoin stuff. Okay, well, where you getting the money to buy the Bitcoin? You ain't just getting, a Bitcoin. You're using your finances, your AKA fiat, to buy Bitcoin. Then you got these goofy Moors that are just go on the meme station to act like they really doing something in this science, and they know they not, because the language is not right. They talk about invest all your money in Bitcoin. I say, you a fool. You don't put all your money in nothing. Bitcoin ain't backed by nothing. They'll say, this is what they'll try to tell you, and your money is no good investing all in Bitcoin. Why? Why the hell would I invest all my money in Bitcoin? Bitcoin ain't backed by shit. I'm going to invest all my money in Bitcoin. You crazy. And I ain't going to diversify my portfolio or put a little bit in this, and when the frequency change or when the weather change, when stuff be selling for low, I have enough so-called fiat to buy that Bitcoin. I have enough fiat to buy some gold, a little silver if I want. I got enough to invest in some different things. See, nobody can come to me with that. And then if you saying you doing all this, show me your portfolio. You ain't made no 100,000 by investing no $10 in no Bitcoin. You bet small, you win small. You bet big, you win big. Everybody know I'm telling the truth. And some people ain't even gonna let you get in the game and say, oh man, I'm gonna put dollars up. You ain't shooting dollars, we shooting hundreds. How do you, man, take that dollar on? You ain't finna get in the game and try to put $1 in and come up. That ain't how that shit work. And then you got to know the frequency. You got to be watching that shit 24 hours of the day. You can't be part-time with this. How I know I do this. And everybody know I'm telling the truth. Somebody will tell you put all your money in something that's not backed by nothing. Bitcoin is not backed by no gold, no silver, no nothing. Everybody know that shit can be poof away. It ain't nothing but a wire per se. You can't get a Bitcoin and go say I paid with this a Bitcoin. Well, how much change you gonna get back? Morris don't even know. That's why I be laughing. And it ain't just Bitcoin you can invest in. It's a whole bunch of different coinages that's making 300% more than what Bitcoin does. That's why I be laughing. I'm like, so that's all y'all know is Bitcoin? That's how I know brothers ain't enlightened and they we not into the know. We follow all these YouTube people, and I say, so you done made all of this stuff in a year? You look at how long they be doing it, and then open your portfolio. If you say you can do all this, why you ain't doing it? Don't use nobody as no crash dummy. Everything that a person should be saying, they should be willing to show you with truth, and the truth will make you free. Peace and love.